Welcome to today's meditation. Find a comfortable position and let your eyes close when you're ready. Before we begin, a brief reflection on today's theme. Brené Brown said, "Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome." We've been taught that vulnerability is weakness, that showing your cards makes you an easy target. So we armor up. We keep it light. We deflect with humor or change the subject. But real strength isn't about being unbreakable. It's about knowing you might break and showing up anyway. It's saying, "I don't know," in a room full of experts. Admitting you're scared when everyone else looks confident. Asking for help when you're supposed to have it together. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing or dumping your feelings on anyone who will listen. It's about selective honesty with people who've earned it. Today, we practice the courage to be seen as we actually are. Let's begin by settling into this moment. Feel the weight of your body, the pull of gravity. Notice your breath moving in and out. Nothing needs to change right now. You don't need to fix anything or figure anything out. Just be here. And as you settle, consider this. How much of your life do you spend armored? Not physically, but emotionally, mentally. The careful edit before you speak. The face you wear to meetings. The version of yourself you present to the world. Most of us walk around in full protective gear without even realizing it. Vulnerability has become a buzzword. Everyone talks about it. Few people actually practice it. Because vulnerability isn't comfortable. It's not Instagram worthy. It doesn't come with guarantees. It's messy, uncertain, sometimes humiliating. But it's also the only way to build real connection. Think about the people you trust most. The ones you can call at 2 a.m. The ones who've seen you at your worst. What is it about them? Often, it's not that they're perfect. It's that they've shown you their imperfections. They admitted they were struggling. They asked for help. They said, "Me too," when you thought you were alone. That's vulnerability. But we're terrified of it. Because vulnerability means risk. Risk that you'll be rejected, risk that you'll be too much, risk that your honesty will be used against you. And sometimes those things happen. You open up and the other person doesn't match your energy. You share something real and they change the subject. You take off the armor and realize not everyone deserves access. That's the brave part. Check in with your breath. Notice how it keeps going, even when you're scared, even when you're unsure. Your body keeps breathing. Your heart keeps beating. You're more resilient than you think. The opposite of vulnerability isn't strength. It's invulnerability. And invulnerable people are isolated because they can't let anyone in. Not really. They're too busy maintaining the facade, too invested in looking like they have it all figured out. And underneath all that armor, they're exhausted. Here's what vulnerability isn't. It's not spilling your guts to strangers. It's not emotional exhibitionism. It's not using your pain as currency for attention. Real vulnerability is discerning. It's knowing who's earned the right to hear your story. It's sharing with people who've shown up, who've been consistent, who've proven they can hold your truth without weaponizing it. That's the selective part. But even with the right people, vulnerability is hard. Because it means being seen. Not the highlight reel, not the curated version, the actual you. The one who doesn't have it all together, who makes mistakes, who's figuring it out as they go. And that's scary. Because what if they don't like what they see? Notice the sensations in your body right now. Maybe there's tightness somewhere, tension in your chest, a knot in your stomach. That's your body's way of protecting you. But you're safe here, right now. See if you can soften just a little. Here's the thing about vulnerability. It requires courage, yes, but it also requires self-worth. Because you have to believe that your authentic self is worth showing, that your truth matters, that your feelings are valid, that you deserve to take up space even when you're not polished. If you don't believe that, vulnerability feels like begging, like you're asking permission to exist. But when you know your worth, vulnerability becomes an offering. Not desperate, not needy, just honest. Think about a time when you were truly vulnerable. Maybe you admitted you didn't know something. Maybe you asked for help. Maybe you said, "I'm struggling," out loud. How did it feel? Terrifying, probably. Exposing. But also, maybe, a little bit freeing. Because you didn't have to pretend anymore. The irony is that we think vulnerability makes us weak. But it's actually the opposite. It takes more strength to say, "I'm scared," than to fake confidence. More courage to ask for help than to suffer alone. More resilience to show up imperfect than to hide behind a mask. Because when you're vulnerable, you can't control the outcome. You have to trust. Trust that you'll survive rejection. Trust that the right people will stay. Trust that your worth isn't dependent on being perfect. This isn't just about big moments. It's about everything. The meeting where you admit you're lost. The conversation where you say, "That hurt," instead of, "I'm fine." The relationship where you let someone see you cry. Small acts of courage. Small moments of truth. And yes, sometimes it backfires. Sometimes you're vulnerable and it doesn't go well. But here's what you learn. You learn who's safe. You learn what you're capable of surviving. You learn that being rejected for who you are is better than being accepted for who you're not. Notice your breath again. Still there. Still steady. You don't have to be brave all the time. But maybe, sometimes, you can be brave enough to be real. As we begin to close, take a deeper breath. Feel the air move in and out. Bring your attention to the sounds around you. the temperature of the air, the weight of your body. You are enough, not the armored version, not the carefully edited one, the real one. And the people who matter will see that. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you next time, because meditation should be free.